Hi guys, JT here. With every Humble Monthly, the question is, what are the games like? Well, here's a bit of information on each game in July 2025's Humble Monthly to help you decide if it is for you. By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to gain early access to videos or buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1, the featured game of this month, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, an epic immersive RPG that plunges you into the dark, twisted universe of Warhammer 40k. This title offers a massive exploration of the Coronis Expanse, where you play as a rogue trader, navigating the dangerous void between stars, forming alliances, battling enemies, and uncovering ancient mysteries. From the moment you start, Rogue Trader envelops you in its richly detailed world. The Coronis Expanse is a vast, dangerous region filled with haunted space hulks, lush jungle planets, and treacherous monasteries. The environments are meticulously crafted, each location dripping with the grim dark atmosphere that Warhammer 40k fans crave. You will interact with a wide array of characters, from devout warriors to cunning Xenos, each with their own complex backstories and hidden motives. The narrative is layered, pulling you into the intrigues and power struggles that define the Warhammer 40k universe. Combat in Rogue Trader is a blend of strategic turn-based tactics and RPG elements, where every action and decision can lead to wildly unpredictable outcomes. You'll customize your team with a staggering array of abilities, weapons, and buffs, making each battle a complex puzzle to solve. However, this depth can also be overwhelming. The interface, while packed with information, sometimes obscures more than it reveals, leading to a game of find a buff as you try to track and manage countless status effects and abilities. It is a game that demands your full attention and rewards meticulous planning, but can also be exhausting as you juggle its many systems. The story is compelling, though it can drag at times, with a steady rhythm of quests that sometimes feel more like filler than essential plot points. Yet, when the narrative hits its stride, it is very engrossing, filled with moral choices and branching paths that truly make you feel like the master of your fate. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader is a marathon of a game, rich in detail, deep in mechanics, and daunting in scope. It is an experience that can be as rewarding as it is demanding, offering a deep dive into one of gaming's most iconic universes. And number 2 we have Cat Quest 3, a light-hearted action RPG where you set sail as an adventurous feline in search of the legendary Northern Star. Set in the whimsical and pun-filled Caribbean, you'll fight pirates, dodge spike traps, and uncover treasure-packed islands as you balance sword slashes, gunfire, and magic spells to stay alive. Combat in Cat Quest 3 feels satisfying and fast-paced. You'll mix melee attacks with ranged gunplay, all while switching between powerful spells like lightning bolts and healing magic. You'll need to manage mana carefully, replenishing your physical attacks to keep casting. As you level up, you'll unlock extra gear slots, new spells, and upgrades for both your cat and ship. But the real magic happens in exploration. The overworld is gorgeous and full of secrets. Each island lists how many chests remain, making it easy to get hooked on 100% completion. From clever side quests to puzzle-filled caves and even a romantic choose-your-own-adventure, there's never a dull moment. The gear system is surprisingly deep, with plenty of viable build options. Whether you prefer speedy dodge rolls or gear that damages enemies when you heal, you'll find something that suits your style. Ship combat can be a bit clunky, and forgetting to save regularly at parrots may cost you progress. But these are minor hiccups in an otherwise stellar game. If you're craving an adorable yet engaging RPG full of charm, variety, and more cat puns than legally allowed, Cat Quest 3 is pure perfection. And number 3 we have Death's Door, a tightly crafted top-down action-adventure game where you play as a sword-wielding crow working for a bureaucratic afterlife. What unfolds is a dark yet charming journey through somber catacombs, eerie forests, and bizarre boss arenas, all with a dry, offbeat sense of humor. You'll explore 3 major dungeons to gather souls and unlock the titular door. Along the way, you collect new weapons and items like a hookshot or bombs to help solve puzzles and open new paths. If you've played a classic Zelda game, you'll feel right at home. You won't need to memorize complex combos or wade through dialogue trees. Every challenge is about timing, reflexes, and reading patterns. Combat is simple but satisfying. You dodge roll, slash enemies, and fire magic projectiles when needed. It is lean, punchy, and surprisingly visceral, with every hit landing with a satisfying crunch. The difficulty ramps up in later areas, but nothing feels unfair. Death is common, but quick respawns keep frustration to a minimum. You'll not spend 100 hours here, and that's the point. There's no map, which can lead to a bit of backtracking, but the focused design ensures your time is never wasted. There's also no bloat, just engaging gameplay, evocative music, and a world that respects your time. Death's Door distills the action-adventure genre down to its essentials, and nails nearly every part. If you crave a smart, stylish, and efficient journey through a melancholy fantasy world, this is one door you should absolutely walk through. And number 4 we have Daemon X Machina, a high-octane anime-styled mech action game that drops you into the cockpit of a customizable war machine called an arsenal. You play as a reclaimer, hired to reclaim territory from rogue AIs known as Immortals, after the moon crashes into Earth and releases a mysterious energy called Femto. The setup is ridiculous, and so is everything else, in the best way possible. You'll pilot your mech across dozens of missions, shredding enemy bots and battling towering bosses with laser swords, missile pods, and rifles you can literally rip off fallen enemies. Loadouts feel impactful, letting you build a fast, nimble arsenal or a bulky tank. Movement is slick, especially when you're air dashing through explosions or skating across battle-scarred deserts. Combat is fast, arcadey, and satisfying, even if melee can feel a bit imprecise. The story is overly convoluted and filled with dramatic characters like Gun Empress and Rogue Cinderella, but you rarely interact with them meaningfully. Most dialogue is skippable, and honestly, you will not miss much. Outside the main missions, you can tweak your arsenal, upgrade your pilot, and even grab some stat-boosting ice cream. The biggest issue is that the game is way too easy, and the rare out-of-mech stealth segments are tedious. Still, running the game on PC is at least smooth. If you're craving over-the-top mech mayhem with explosive visuals and crunchy metal-on-metal combat, Daemon X Machina delivers pure, stylish fun, even if the plot is just background noise. And number 5 we have Wizard with a Gun, a top-down cooperative roguelite where you, as a stylish gunslinging spellcaster, fight to delay an ever-looming apocalypse. You're dropped into 5-minute expeditions across procedurally generated voidlands, scavenging resources, battling mini-bosses, and racing back to your tower before chaos consumes everything beneath your feet. At first you'll scrape by with basic spell bullets and modest gear, but soon you'll be crafting elaborate combos, like SMGs spitting lightning and poison, or blunderbuss blasting enemies with fire and ice. Every spell bullet you craft opens a new strategic angle. Fear bullets to scatter mobs, charm bullets to build a mini army, or push bullets to control boss positioning. The loadout possibilities feel endless, and experimentation is a blast. Despite comparisons to Enter the Gungeon and Don't Starve, Wizard with a Gun carves its own space with a tight gameplay loop. Win or lose, every run inches you closer to better weapons, stylish gear, and upgrades for your wizard tower. Progress always feels meaningful. Unfortunately, the gunplay itself is not perfect. Enemy attacks are often easy to dodge, or clumsily executed, and bosses can feel like damaged sponges rather than satisfying challenges. Still, the crafting and customization help you paint over the combat simplicity with wild and creative setups. Even solo, the pacing is engaging, but with co-op, doubling the number of bullet effects and weird builds promises even more chaos. If you're after a lean roguelite with flair and solid replay value, Wizard with a Gun definitely hits the mark, just not every time. And number 6 we have Neocab, an interactive narrative game where you play as Lena, one of the last human taxi drivers in a city slowly surrendering to automation. Set in the near-future metropolis of Los Hoyos, your job is simple. Ferry passengers, maintain a good driver rating, and make enough money to sleep each night. But the emotional and social layers quickly complicate things. You'll spend most of your time talking to Pax, a rotating cast of eccentric riders with strong opinions and tech-fueled lifestyles. The conversations are where Neocab shines. They explore everything from AI ethics to gig economy burnout, and while some passengers verge on caricature, many offer perspectives that challenge your choices in subtle, meaningful ways. Your mood, tracked by a wearable device called the Feel Grid, directly affects what dialogue options are available, adding depth to your decisions. The central mystery, your missing best friend Savvy, drives the story forward, but often takes a backseat to the game's more philosophical musings. Neocab touches on corporate surveillance, algorithmic bias, and the erosion of human agency. You'll not find clean resolutions here, but the ambiguity feels intentional. You're not meant to save the world, just survive another night. The downside is that some conversations can sometimes feel overly staged, and the game bites off more than it can meaningfully chew in its short runtime. Still, it's a unique and thoughtful experience that lingers after the credits. If you want a short but emotionally narrative game that reflects our tech-anxious present, Neocab is a ride worth taking. At number 7 we have Everafter Falls, a cozy top-down farming sim that places you in a cheerful world full of talking animals, magic cards, and mechanical pets. You wake up from a mysterious simulation with no memory, greeted by Dog, who sets you on a quest-driven adventure through a world that's cute, colorful, and slightly offbeat. Gameplay-wise, you'll find all the farming sim staples: farming, fishing, foraging, and fighting, handled with a charming twist. You mark farming tiles for your pet to handle, which sounds great until it slows you down. The fishing minigame is surprisingly fresh, using a dual-layered timing mechanic to reel in fish. Combat takes you into 4 dangerous dungeons, with card-based progression adding an unusual and slightly goofy layer of upgrades. You'll munch up upgrade cards to boost your skills, while drones and pixies automate tasks, so your farm keeps thriving even when you're deep underground battling bosses. The game offers split-screen co-op, but be warned, some players find the second player controls awkward. Social interactions lean more toward quirky dialogue and simple quests, rather than deep relationship building, which could disappoint fans of romance mechanics. There is also plenty to do, collecting items for the museum, goofy town events, yes, you can throw rocks at rubber ducks, and lots of light-hearted humor. But the RNG-heavy resource gathering and slow crafting can make late-game progression feel tedious. Still, if you enjoy farming sims with streamlined mechanics, Everafter Falls is worth diving into. Just don't expect perfection. At number 8 we have Blanc, a short hand-drawn co-op adventure where you and a partner play as a fawn and a wolf pup, lost in a snow-covered wilderness after a blizzard. With no text or dialogue, the story unfolds purely through expressive animations and a twinkling piano soundtrack. At its best, Blanc is a heartwarming tale of cooperation, full of charming puzzles, playful mechanics, and moments that feel genuinely magical. In the first half, you'll guide the animals through snowy forests, windswept cliffs, and cozy villages. The pup pulls ropes, the fawn pushes obstacles, and you'll need to work together to solve gentle platforming puzzles. Helping ducklings avoid icy gusts and guiding mirror image baby goats are highlights that make the early game shine. You can even slide down hills like bobsleds in one of the game's most enjoyable sequences. Whether you play with a friend or solo, controlling both animals like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, the game invites connection and communication. The stunning pencil and ink visuals are a constant delight, even with a very limited grayscale palette. But the second half does not hold up. Puzzle variety vanishes, sections begin to repeat, and camera glitches become frequent. You might get stuck in geometry, forcing level restarts. Worst of all, the emotional climax feels rushed and disconnected, possibly missing an entire level, leaving the ending flat and unsatisfying. Despite its flaws, Blanc is worth experiencing for its gorgeous visuals and touching co-op spirit. Just don't expect a perfect journey. This one melts before the finish line. And that's all for this month's Humble Monthly. This month's Humble Monthly drops 3 cozy gems: Neocab, Everafter Falls, and Blanc, all scoring high on Steam and delivering tight bite-sized experiences for solo or couch co-op play. While the month's price bump stings, fans hype Rogue Trader and Boltgun, so content's still solid. If you're into chill vibes, clever design, and cinematic feels in compact packages, this lineup hits the sweet spot, and gives solid bang for your buck. This bundle is worth the coin if you're down for quality indie play. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider unlocking early access to videos with buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.